First you go bing, then you go bang, then you go boom.
Hi, I'm Adam Langer, and I'm sitting in an apartment in New York on Ellington Boulevard. And my new novel is called Ellington Boulevard, a novel in A flat, or a novel in a flat. On the one hand, it's a novel in A flat. It's a novel about music. It has jazz riffs, themes, variations, show tunes. There's even a Broadway musical that runs through it. On the other hand, it's also a novel in a flat. It's a novel about real estate. It's a novel about an apartment. It's really a novel about home and the search for home and how do you find a home after you've left yours. The novel begins, a man and his dog are returning home after a long time away from the city, and they're just wanting to get back to their apartment. But when they get there, the door is open and there are three strangers in the apartment. There's a real estate broker and two people who want to buy the apartment. And from that moment forward, the novel becomes the story of everyone who's involved in the real estate sale. And the novel becomes the story of the mortgage broker who's trying to live out the American dream. It's the story of the real estate broker who really wants to be an actor. It's the story of the tenant and the dog who have to find a new home. It's the story of the buyers whose marriage is crumbling. It's the story of everybody whose life is affected by the apartment, even the pigeons that live outside the apartment. Their stories in Ellington Boulevard, too. When I started writing the book, I really tried to see the story from everybody's perspective. That meant going to real estate school like the broker. That meant interviewing mortgage brokers and people involved in every aspect of real estate. That meant seeing all the characters in my mind and trying to walk the walks that they walked, take the subways that they took, even listening to the music that they listened to. And in the case of the dog, that meant listening to the music of the city. That meant car horns, brakes, motors, subways, buses. All of that became music and the rhythms of the novel. I'm not from New York. I come from Chicago. I've only been here about 7.5 years, and I love the city a lot, but at the same time, when I first came here, I learned it could be a very isolated, alienating place, and it really took a long time for it to feel like home to me. And it really only took a short amount of time for it not to feel like home anymore when one evening I came home and found three strangers in my apartment. I found a broker and two people who wanted to buy the apartment, and I knew I would have to find a new home. Now, when I first started writing the book, I didn't know a lot about the characters, I didn't know a lot about what they were going to do, but I did know three things about the book. I knew that the last word of the novel was going to be home, and I knew that one way or another, by the end of the novel, every character in it would find their home. And the other thing I knew was that nothing bad was going to happen to the dog in the novel, because I really hate novels where bad things happen to dogs.